What would United's best 11 be if the season began tomorrow? And we thought, you know, we'd do this collectively, seeing as we're a team here. So, Jimmy, start us off with the goalkeeper position. Are you going for David De Gea, or are you putting someone else in goal?
Poppy, I'm going with DDG, David De Gea. He has been such a consistent force between the sticks for Manchester United for many seasons. Even when they were having down years in previous seasons, he still figured out a way to be pretty successful and keep his teams somewhat relevant and in the conversation to get into European competition. So I like David De Gea. I think he's going to start for sure. He might not have the ball playing skills that Erik ten Hag, who's coming from Ajax, might want from a goalkeeper, but that's a conversation for another time because Ten Hag can't come in and switch all 11 starters. He's got to figure out, he's got to work with some of his players and try to fill in holes where he can. And that leads me to the center backs. As much as he might want to move on to Harry Maguire and a Raphael Varane and a Lindelof and a Bailly, I think he's going to be stuck with these four center backs unless maybe Lisandro Martinez comes in. He played for him at Ajax and he plays for the Argentina national team. He's very good. He can play holding midfielder as well. Very versatile, but I don't know if he's going to come over from Ajax to go to a team that, as you mentioned, didn't do very well last year and is only playing in the Europa League and not the Champions League. And then you have Luke Shaw and Telles on the left side and Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right side. Those four fullbacks / outside backs had a combined, 7 assists and no goals in the Premier League last season. That's not very good. For a comparison to Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold had 2 goals and 12 assists last year. Andy Robertson had 3 goals and 10 assists last year. Those are their attacking wing backs, and I think that Erik ten Hag wants to see a little bit more of that. They might be looking at David Raum from Hoffenheim and Tyrell Malacia from Feyenoord at the left back position. I think that would be an upgrade because they get forward. But for right now, I think they're going to be stuck with kind of the players they had last season, and I don't think that's a good look for Manchester United.
Not at all, Jimmy. And now lead me to the midfield. And you know that in midfield, there is a team that has got a lot of problems. Paul Pogba leaving, Matip leaving. There is a few players who are leaving the center midfield of this Manchester United. And some other they are coming. They don't know if they're going to have the luck, like Van de Beek, if he's going to have the chance of Ten Hag to make him involved into the 11 starter. But Ten Hag just make it very clear. The player who we want to build up this team around is Frankie de Jong, but still on hold. Barcelona doesn't want to let him go. He knows him very well. He knows that he's a player who can bring so much stuff to the team. Starting from that dominance, his performances when he's on the ball is just fantastic. But we have to wait to see what happens with him. Meanwhile, we're going to see Fred probably playing as a holding midfielder. He's been quite one of the regulars, in and out sometimes, a player who can give you the balance. So he's quite of those players who always perform, always give you a 7. Maybe not a 9 or a 10, but he's always a 7. That's something very important these days when you have so many games to play. And we are going to see probably McTominay. He's been fantastic in the last year. He's a power force. You can see he's a very young talent who can give you the assist, who can give you the last pass, something that is very important also for this Manchester United, but also can give you the fight. Box-to-box player, something that for Ten Hag is also very important. And in the other side, we're going to have Bruno Fernandez, is the quality, the talent. The player who last year probably he wasn't his best, but I think this is not because of him. It's because the Manchester United wasn't performing the best of the best. So I think that this is going to be like the 3 midfielders involved, but we have to wait to see because Eriksen is also being linked with Manchester United. Another player who Ten Hag said that he will be very important because of his ability, because of his talent with his feet, this creativity that is needed in the middle of the park, and also you know that there is fantastic on set pieces, so we'll have to wait. But I think those 3 players, I think that for me the most important is Bruno Fernandes. If he can bring back this, once again, we've seen in the past couple of years, no last one, I think he's one of the key players for Manchester United for next year because of the talent he's got in that right foot, free kicks, corner kicks, penalties, he's just fantastic. But also when he's near the box, so important. So we'll see if he can bring the best of the best from his play.
Yeah, great job to both of you there. Obviously, defensively, United need to improve. I think they conceded 57 goals last year and only scored 57 goals. So offensively, they need to improve as well. You know, of course, the players need to have a good look in the mirror. And if you look at the team that we have actually projected it to be, it's very similar to our starting 11 from last season. So we want to see new players come into Manchester United, but we also want to see Ten Hag be able to implement his own ideas, be able to bring the players he wants in, with this having a long-term view to get Manchester United back to being a real challenger in the Premier League. But also, you know, trying to compete for a Champions League spot every single year is not easy anymore. The Premier League is so competitive. I love Ten Hag. I love what he's done at Ajax Amsterdam. He really has created this big reputation. But who are you going to rely on to score the goals for you? That's obviously going to be very difficult. Trying to attract players to Manchester United, where most money is spent, is on the attackers, the strikers. And trying to attract these type of players that Manchester United are so accustomed or used to bring into the club is not easy when you don't have Champions League football. So I have seen some names being mentioned with United, obviously trying to get them to the club. No doubt Nkunku's been mentioned coming to the club. There's no doubt they lost out on Darwin Núñez just recently, which is a big loss for a club like Manchester United, where back in the day it would have been a no-brainer for a player like Núñez to go to Manchester United, for United to get that deal over the line. Think about it again. They have an incredible coach, Liverpool, and they've also got a great team. So they've got this bigger attraction right now, not only of Champions League football, but everybody wants to be there. Cristiano Ronaldo is at the club right now, and in my opinion, when he is scoring goals, you keep him playing. You keep him playing as much as you possibly can. You give him the opportunity to be successful as best as you possibly can. 24 goals all competitions last season. He was only behind Son and Salah last campaign in the Premier League Golden Boot race. He had 18 goals, so very impressive, and one more than Harry Kane. So to see a player at his age have such success and continued success is brilliant. And the question will always be, when is it time for Cristiano Ronaldo to move on? But he's still scoring goals. For me, he still gets the nod. You still rely on his experience, and just recently posting a picture on his social media platforms in the most incredible shape. I mean, Lucho Garcia looks like that right now, but Cristiano Ronaldo at 37 years old looks in incredible physique and shape. He's ready to go. Forget pre-season. The guy doesn't need it. He's already ready to rock and roll. Now, the wider channels are much more up for debate. Sancho needs to be better, needs confidence. I really love this appointment for Jadon Sancho, because Ten Hag is a coach or a manager who's been used to coaching these young players, to developing these young players, giving them an opportunity to play and build their confidence and play with freedom. That's what Ajax do. Ajax play with freedom. They showed that already in UEFA competitions this year. They were fun to watch. They scored a ton of goals. I expect Jadon Sancho to really thrive under Ten Hag. I think Elanga obviously has got the nod in the other side, but who knows what's going to happen there. They do have the youngster Garnacho, who's been really impressive, only 17 years old, but I think they'll still look to try and bring a player or two in to really compete in those wide areas. Maybe Martial comes back, I don't know. But certainly right now the focus has to be on that striker position. If it's not Cristiano Ronaldo up there, United need to bring somebody in to be able to compete, to be able to score goals. Doesn't look like they can get an Nkunku. I've heard Sebastian Haller mentioned to Manchester United, but it sounds like he could potentially be on the move after agreeing personal terms with Borussia Dortmund. So Haller would be a great fit for United, although he did somewhat struggle at West Ham. I think this would be a big, big move. Whoever you bring into the club has to have immediate success if it's not going to be Cristiano Ronaldo up top there, Bob.
All right, well, always plenty to discuss with Manchester United. Here's the complete 11 from our guys. David De Gea in goal, Shaw, Varane, Maguire and Delau across the back, Fred and McTominay in the middle, and Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandez and Anthony Elanga sitting just behind CR7 there. 47 days now to go until Erik Ten Hag rolls out his first 11 of the season. This one, though, from our guys, I'm sure many will agree with it, but I'm sure there'll be many who don't.